Japan. That did hold up the market. The yen did pop on that news against the dollar, and we saw that strength actually hold up the market quite nicely overnight in Japan. As a matter of fact, if you take a look at some of the 5 major stocks that are represented in the ETF EWJ, which is currently trading down 7 cents, around a little over a 1/10% loss today at 51.55. Japan Tobacco was up about a nickel overnight at 33.03. You have KDDI Corp also finished basically flat. You have Mitsubishi Financial basically flat overnight, finishing the overnight session at 688. And you had Toyota Motors. Now, the point that I want to point out here is that you have the actual stock that trades in Japan represented here in the Toyota Motor Corp, which is trading at 57.31. But then you have the ADR. That's an American Depository Receipt. That's TM. That's Toyota Motor Corp. That's what's trading right now here in the U.S. Toyota Motor Corp is trading down 3 cents at 114.27. Now, some of you might ask, well, why is it trading so much higher, almost 2 times what the stock that's trading over in Japan? Well, first of all, it's the currency fluctuation, as well as the fact that there is also, with that currency, when they transfer the stock into terms of dollars, you're going to have that price increase. But if you were interested in trading Toyota Motor Corp here in the States, there is an ADR that you can trade. And so as we report on it in the morning before the open, and you see how it's trading overnight, that can get you set for the day. Now turning our attention to China. I'm actually going to change right now, going to China. We're going to take a look real quick. Taking a look at China, you can see FXI right now trading up 13 cents. Now that mirrors pretty much the overnight action. China was up 0.2%. And basically what was the driver was housing prices continue to increase. The housing prices are up about 12.2%. Now, year over year, that's actually down 0.2%. And the Chinese government, as we have been reporting, have been looking to basically cool down that housing market a little bit. It's just moving very fast, very furious. But that was a catalyst to the upside in China. Taking a look at some of the larger cap names in China. First of all, FXI trading up at 38.95, up 14 cents, as you can see it ticking here. Some of the larger cap names that are represented in FXI. Bank of China trading at 53 cents. You have China Mobile up 21 cents at 11.19. You also have Industrial and Communication Bank of China up basically flat overnight, and you have Tessient Holdings trading up about 39 cents. These are the 5 largest cap stocks that are represented in FXI, which is the ETF that trades during our market hours. So you keep an eye on these stocks. As these stocks perform overnight, you're going to see how FXI could perform during the day here, because these stocks are represented in that ETF. So we see that there's some action to the upside on China. Let's take a look at Hong Kong. After we had that promising housing data, we also saw out of Hong Kong GDP up at 1.2% in Hong Kong. That's an increase month over month by about 0.4%. Or quarter over quarter. That's been a positive. We saw that the Hong Kong market, the Hang Seng, was up about 1%. And we currently see that EWH is trading up 2 cents, or around basically flat. So up 2 cents. You see the 5 major holdings in EWH, which is the ETF that tracks Hong Kong. You can see that basically they were trading to the upside overnight. And this is how I look at the market beforehand, and this is how I can trade EWH with much more transparency. Finally, we want to take a look at India. And India traded actually up 0.4%. Taking a look at EPI, which is the ETF that tracks India, it's up 3 cents this morning. And we see that one of the major holdings, Infosys, which actually INFY, that's an ADR that trades here, is actually down 23 cents. Financials continue to lag in India, but we do see that the Indian stock market is really challenging the upside. We saw the Sensex is basically at levels that we haven't seen since September. So we're going to see if the Wisdom Tree ETF EPI continues to challenge to the upside. As a matter of fact, what you can do is you can actually jump into MarketStream.live and you can actually type in whether it's EWJ. See where the challenge points are. Right now, trading at its highs. You see the 20 and the 50-day moving average coming into play here, but well above is the stock price. That's bullish. Taking a look at EPI, which we were just discussing. That's the, sorry. You can clearly see that it's right at resistance at 22.59, but it's well above that 20, 50, and 200-day moving average, which is indicated here. You also can see we have there's some nice news features here on the right-hand side. This is under the Premium Toolbox under Real-Time Chart. You can see some of the top headlines. There was a headline about Amazon, some of the missteps that they've had there. You also see that Apple may see a deeper need for an Indian presence. That was a catalyst. As a matter of fact, that was about 2 weeks ago. That's been a catalyst that's been keeping the Indian stock market moving to the upside. This is how you can utilize these tools and many more to have that transparency that we discuss, that I discuss every morning here at MarketStream.live. All right, folks, that's it right now for the overnight action report. Join me at 8:45 Eastern Time, where I'm going to be discussing more on the European action. We'll see you then.